This is a Main Hustle Media podcast.
Damn it, Wade!
Curmudgeons, more than meets the eye. Curmudgeons, podcast in disguise. What's going on, everybody? I am Curmudgeons Prime, and I'm here with Main Screen.
Main Screen is a good one. I would also go with Mega Main or Mainatron.
Mainatron,
like
yes.
You know how much I am dedicated to Megatron in general. I have Decepticon logos all over my truck. And all week I've been playing with my voice activated Megatron and Optimus Prime. So yeah, I appreciate this song. This is a thumbs up song.
I feel like, and I hate that I'm about to say this, I feel like Starscream needs this one time say get the gat.
I fucking love Starscream. I think he doesn't get enough credit, and I really just I want him to shine at some point.
I really, really can't wait to read the Daniel Warren Johnson run, the comic book that he's been doing.
Yeah.
You're gonna love him so much, but it's also gonna break your fucking heart. Like, I'm not a big Transformers guy, but like everything that I've been reading from them, it's the art, the artist and the writer are, you can tell they love these characters, and I especially love that the artist has been throwing in like random wrestling moves, like Optimus Prime tombstone somebody. I was like, oh, we're doing this. I was like, cool.
I will do my best to try to read it when I'm flying, because I'm going down to LA this weekend for the Free to Be Fest. So I will definitely try to get it. I'm also there was something else Transformery I was looking forward to, but it's just emptied my brain. So I'll just show you my tattoo instead.
Worth it.
Decepticon tattoo.
So speaking of festivals, before we get into the fun little thing we got going on and then the list, do you want to hear a funny story from Jazz Fest?
Oh yeah, you said you had something to tell me, so hit me.
All right. So beat this. The lineup that we want to see each day, there was somebody we want to see. Friday was The Roots, Saturday was Janelle Monáe, and Sunday was De La Soul.
God damn, that is my lineup, bro. That is my fucking lineup.
Pharoah Monch and Talib Kweli came out on Sunday with De La Soul. When Pharoah Monch came out, man, I lost my shit.
My gosh, I've only seen him one time.
You see Pharoah Monch?
One time, yeah, in Austin.
That was the first time I seen him, and like Pharoah Monch is like my guy. Like my favorite song ever is "Amnesia" by Pharoah Monch in 13. So when the previous band left the main stage, we, my wife and I, went up because like everything was clearing out. We want to make sure that we're not trying to like push people away, but there were certain people you could tell were like they were standing the entire day, so we're not going to push in front of people who are already there, right?
Yeah, fair.
So we get there. And there's a bunch of people there, like, you know, just really happy people. They're vibing, having a good time. And then this person comes in and then literally pushes through my wife and the person next to her. And my wife was like, excuse me? Like, excuse me? Hi.
Yeah.
Standing here. We've been here. And it was like, so she was like, oh, well, I just wanted to get through. And she goes, my wife's like, no, we've been here for 30 minutes waiting for that. Here in line specifically for this. And she goes, oh, well, and then her husband or boyfriend or partner, whatever, was just kind of standing there. And he gave me a look like he was going to push through. And I'm not a violent person. I don't want to be a violent person. But I gave him a look like, don't.
Yeah.
Don't with my wife. We're not doing that. So he kind of stepped back. And so my wife and his partner are doing whatever. And they're arguing. And so they're arguing. And she goes, I didn't see you. My wife was like, she goes, the fuck you didn't. She goes, you missed my big black ass? No, you did not. And so her partner is just like, oh, he's like, oh, come on. It's not that deep. I turned around, and mind you, he's white. He was like, oh, it's not that deep. I turned around, I was like, yes, it is. It was rude as fuck. Like, what are you doing? Like, I was like, we're sitting here, like, we've been standing here for 30 plus minutes, and you're just walking through like an asshole. And so Maria
and pushing between you.
Yeah, like
too,
not even
right? So
yeah, and not even an excuse me. And so Maria knows, like, she can tell how my voice elevates when I'm about to get like angry. And she was like,
yeah,
Mark, down. I was like, all right, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. And so this is the part I missed. So first off, the people next to us were really appreciative because they thought it was rude too, because they've all been standing there for over 30 minutes plus.
yeah.
There was a dude there, let me say a person there. Long micro braids, bandana, and these beautiful long nails. They had like these citrusy designs on them. And they were like, and I missed this. Maria told me this later, and they said that they were like clicking their nails, like, yes, I know that's right. Because it was just like, yo, how you just gonna like just push through there? Like, we're not standing there. So the next day, Janelle Monáe, I'm there for the roots. Maria's there for Janelle Monáe. Same thing kind of happened, and this person was like, "Oh, can I get past you?" And I'm like, "No." It's like, you know what I mean? Like, no, you can't. And so they was like, "Oh, that's my son up there." Maria turned around, was like, "No, it's not." So they said to me, like, "Can you move over so I can get past your wife?" I go, "You can go behind me."
Yeah.
And then so he turned around and left. And I felt bad for this other woman who was behind me, and she was asking if she could go through. She was super polite, and I was gonna say go ahead, but the problem was we just had this altercation, and it would have seemed some sort of way. But she understood the situation and was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to like cause an issue." I go, "No, you're not causing an issue." She goes, "No, I'll find another spot." Like, you know what I mean? I asked if she was sure. I said I would move over so she can go this way. She was like, "No, I'm fine." But it was just funny that they really were trying to like say this. And so the couple who was trying to get in front of Maria the second time around, they were like, their son was in front of them. They ended up going somewhere else. And I'm like, so clearly it wasn't your son, because if it was your son and that's where you wanted to get to, you would have found a way to get over that to him. So
right.
Missed me with that bullshit. So yeah. Otherwise, fantastic week. The roots were all energy. Janelle Monáe was like, it was everything. Like, I'm agnostic as fuck. I don't really like church. It's not my thing, but I do like the vibe of churches. Like, you know what I mean? When the music's going, everyone's vibing. It's a whole community thing. That was Janelle Monáe's concert. Like, she was just everything. She like got off the stage and was like just preaching to everyone about togetherness and protecting trans kids, protecting LGBT plus people, protect Black women, protect Black men. It was a whole fucking vibe. Like, and she was in a crowd doing this.
Oh, wow.
She went over her time, and they was like, they're just gonna have to cut me off.
Just push me out. Just push me out.
So it was a fucking vibe. So yeah.
The day we are recording this, not the day this will air, is August 5th. And as we now know, this is a holiday for our people. So I wanted to acknowledge the holiday.
Yep.
With my t-shirt.
What are we calling this? New Chair's Eve?
I've heard Chairteenth, Cinco de Negro.
Hatsmiths?
What's it called?
I'm saying Hatsmiths when they do the cap in the air.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, there's been, and of course, I mean, Fate in the Water is pretty much like the best fucking one. And the memes from that day were so crazy. Aquaman and all that other kind of stuff. But
Aquaman might have been my favorite.
So my little crazy story that happened to me this weekend, a friend of mine came up to, visit and everything like that. We went to a Seattle Reign versus the Angel City football match and stuff like that, and we were doing the touristy stuff the second day, and I got approached by someone who looked like a hippie, just long brown hair, dusty ass clothes, backwards cap, and he walks right up to my face and he's like, "Why are you wearing a mask?" And this is one of the few times I wasn't bothered. Like, I didn't freeze. I'm a freezer, which I hate this about me, but I learned the hard way a few times. I freeze in moments like this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because Tristan died. I don't know, but I didn't freeze. I just looked at him. I was like, so that I don't get COVID and you don't get COVID. And he was like, that makes you a fucking bitch. That makes you a stupid bitch. And then he walks away. And my friend's coming up out of the the building he's going into at the same time. So she hears him like mumbling some shit, and she was about to turn around and just push him down the stairs. She didn't even know what the exchange was about. She just saw someone was fucking with Maine, and not gonna happen. But I don't remember exactly how it happened. Whatever it was, I was like, did you hear that dude? Kind of thing or whatever. Like 30 minutes later, I was mad that what I said was because of COVID and not to say like because your breath is bad, like something that would make it like you stupid. So my good brain didn't kick in until about 30-45 minutes later, unfortunately. But this is the first time since the whole masks are bad rhetoric that's got started during COVID that I've actually had somebody aggressively like he didn't physically touch me, but he got up in my face and he pointed and stuff like that. So it was a verbal assault at least. But this is the first time it's happened since the actual quarantine. Yeah. So I was surprised because it's happened in one of, supposedly one of the most liberal ass cities. He looked like a fucking hippie. He didn't look like the type. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so
I've also noticed like the most liberal cities, like I'm from Boston, like you know what I mean. Everyone talks, oh, it's such a liberal city. I'm like, oh, we're like the lead leader in douchebag.
Boston is the most racist city I've ever lived in, and guess what? Seattle is the second most. I've lived all over this country, right? I've lived in California, Texas, Massachusetts, Washington, Arizona. If I were to rank most to least racist place I've ever lived, I would start with Boston as most racist. Seattle would be second. Phoenix would be third. And then, it's a little strange with California towns that I've lived in and Texas towns because I'm able to isolate within my community. So I don't necessarily have to be around other people, but I would still put LA pretty high because when I have had to work in predominantly white spaces, that's where I get the kind racism, like, oh, your skin is so good. I hate you because I look like an old bitch and we're the same age or some shit like that, So I would still put LA pretty high. But in other places I've gotten to isolate within my tribe, right? So yeah, I can't find my tribe up here in Seattle.
Do you have a place like you won't move to?
Everywhere else in the United States besides where I've already been, and I won't go back to anywhere but LA.
All right. I have 3. One of them is because I'm not built for that life.
Okay.
Despite what I may look like, and I'll start with that. I'm not moving to Detroit. I'm not.
Because you might be targeted off of look. You'd be like, oh, you think you bad, but you like, I really don't think I'm bad.
Someone said something to me at the Jazz Fest, and it was all fun and games. I was like, look, dog. I was like, I'm Luke Cage without the powers.
Appropriate.
So, and for obvious reasons, Mississippi and Alabama.
Sure. I will say that I'm California. I didn't realize how California I was until I moved to Boston. That's when I was like, oh shit, I'm California as fuck. I didn't realize that until I left. But the thing is, I lived in Texas before I got to Boston, so it's crazy that it took me a minute to realize just how West Coast I am. So I will say that if I have to live in the US, I will live on the West Coast, but I would rather that be either LA or San Francisco. Seattle aesthetically is fine, but vibe wise, no. It's not for me long term, but I just found out this week I have to be here for at least the next year and a half because I just got accepted into law school.
Yes!
So my plans to bounce in March have changed because now I'm going to be. I didn't expect to get accepted, to be honest. So
I think one of Maria's friends is moving to Seattle. I love Seattle, but I was only there for like a few days.
Yeah,
and I like the vibe there, and it also didn't hurt that like my first WNBA game was a Seattle Storm versus Phoenix Mercury. I was the Seattle arena is fucking dope. The game was fun.
Climate Pledge? Is that
possibly? Is that the one where they built it going down, like they dug a hole and like it seems like you're like going down?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
one. That's where I saw Wu-Tang at.
Oh, that's fucking dope. But like we went there, Marie was like, "Oh, is there anything you want to do?" I said, "Oh, I think the WNBA's here. I'd love to actually go because I don't have the chance here. Boston actually might be getting a WNBA team, which is
dope.
great. Which is great, but I kind of fear that like the people here are, cunts.
Yeah.
So I just don't want it to be like a bad experience. But I also think it's really cool because I have playing basketball as much as I did when I was younger. It would have been cool to see a lot of the women that I knew who love basketball, who would have been able to go to those games and actually have better opportunity to make the league and stuff like that if they would have had like a team here. So like it's kind of dope that the Boston could be getting a team because like who cares about sports in Connecticut? You know the only sport people care about in Connecticut? Like the Connecticut has the WWE building and
it has a lot of network TV stuff, like headquarter offices and shit like that. But Connecticut is such a weird place to try to draw a crowd. I haven't gone to a Storm game yet. I have gone to a Seattle Reign game, which is football, women's football, and I had a fucking blast because I was on the pitch, so I was right there in front of the action and stuff like that, and it was a lot of fun. I do want to go to a Storm game though before I get out of here. But yeah,
so much fun. I want to go to more. Like if I go to a state or a city, if I go to a city, during WNBA season, I can go. I'm fucking going.
Yeah.
I know someone said to me once, like, oh well, if they just lowered the rep, I'm like, if you're just watching for dunks, go fucking watch some highlights on YouTube. Like, go actually watch sports. People are actually fucking good and actually play the game of basketball. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So,
you
got the Cards of Humanity thing set up?
I do. I have it here. Do you want to do that? Do you want to do that right now?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
Or do you want to end that way?
Even better. Let's end that way. So,
okay.
Let me tell you why I switched things up. So initially, people listening, my thing was I was going to play a game that we're going to play later, and last minute I called an audible. Specifically called an audible because I realized that this is called Curmudgeon for the Culture, right? Mm-hmm. I have been way too happy these last 2 episodes, despite episode 1 having the shut the fuck up list. I've been too happy. Super happy.
You're happy because we're finally doing something you and I have been talking about doing together for years. So you haven't gotten over the giddiness of getting to hang out every week now.
Yes. And on top of that, Superman was good. Fantastic Four was good. I didn't really have anything negative to say. So I decided, fuck that. Let's be curmudgeon. And I compiled a list of characters that I hate. I did 10.
Okay.
Mainatron did 10. And apparently we overlap.
We have some overlap, yep.
Now, do you want to start or you want me to start?
You start.
All right. Anakin Skywalker. No, not Darth Vader.
But we're sharing this one. Anakin
Skywalker is a whole ass bitch.
Yes.
And not only is he a whole ass bitch, he's a whole ass bitch because he is one of the most skilled Jedis and Siths that we've seen. But he was just like, and don't get me wrong, I am someone who suffers from anxiety, and like when you meet, and like my buddies used to call me Beaky the Buzzard when I'm around a woman. I'm like, hold on. Like, you know what I mean? But like, that's just who I was. It was kind of cute. It was adorable. Sometimes women liked it. He's a whole ass bitch. I don't like sand. Fuck off.
He's a person who has, separating yourself from him being like a slave child and everything like that, but given his power and his skill set and everything like that, he is a person who has so much privilege based off of how much power he has, but he's not getting things when he wants it, how fast he wants it, blah, 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 which is what turns him into a dick all the time. And it's just like, what makes you think you deserve this more than anybody else? You just got here. You came late to the game. And yes, you're powerful, but you still have a whole bunch of shit to learn. And the woman you love loves you back. chill the fuck out and just exist for a little while, and then you might actually achieve everything that you wanted, and you wouldn't have had to kill a whole bunch of kids, and you might have not had to kill your wife with a broken heart. So calm down.
That whole lost the will to live thing is still one of my favorite things ever. Like she
I
lost the will.
hated it back in the day, but having lost my husband, I get it now. There's a whole lot of things since grief has set in that it's like it's flipped things for me. I was going to talk about it later, but the Scarlet Witch means something completely different to me now in grief than she meant to me before.
Can I just say, when people said, like, okay, yes, Scarlet Witch is the antagonist in a lot of this stuff. How the fuck ever, if you've never been in love, and I'm not even saying loved and lost somebody, if you've never been in love, you don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like I understood everyone else's reaction to what they were put through, because they were unwilling to put in a position that they shouldn't have been put into.
Yeah.
However, I get it. Like, I completely understand why she would do the things you do. It's the whole absolute power corrupts, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, she means something completely different to me. I just rewatched Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness this week, and I was like, oh man, it's just changed. You know, it just changed for me how I felt.
I will add that remind me to add that to the docket for next week, because I have so many thoughts on that movie.
Okay, we can do a grief episode next time. But back to the list. Anakin Skywalker is a bitch. Agreed.
Whole ass bitch.
Yeah. Are we taking terms?
Yeah. What do you got?
I'm going to. So this is another crossover that we have, but I think I have a slightly different perspective than you. I'm calling out movie Luke Skywalker, not book Luke Skywalker.
Funny thing for you. I almost did that, because for me, I love Luke Skywalker in the comics.
Yeah.
Because they show him as this, they show him as like this goofy, clumsy, unequipped person who should not have the powers and the ability that he does. So when you see him getting better, you see it because he's actually made the mistakes, as opposed to the movies. It's just kind of just like he just gets better, and like, you know what I mean? It was weird.
Yeah, the book. So I'm from the 70s, so I got to read like the Timothy Zahn books and stuff like that. And honestly, I didn't start to read them until later. Like Tristan had a big collection of them, and so because of him, I started to read them and things. And Luke, he's just a completely different guy in those books. He's more. I feel like movie Luke Skywalker is the opposite of Anakin. Anakin has all this skill and privilege, and yet he's mad about his lot in life, like that he's not advanced enough, fast enough. Whereas Luke, he wants to advance fast too, but he's just a lot whinier. It's different. Like, he's whinier without anger, and Anakin is whiny with anger. And so Luke is just like, I'm not nearly as passionate hate towards Luke movie as I am Anakin movie, but I will say that book Luke is a really dynamic character that is, I feel like the movies did him a disservice, but this is a hindsight thing. This is, if you're thinking about Luke in terms of the chronological order of the books, and not the fact that we get introduced to him, you know, halfway through the story, basically. You know, the book or movie number 4 is movie number 1. So, so I would say movie Luke is really whiny. He doesn't actually earn the position he attains by the time he's in Return of the Jedi. And so it's just like, he was frustrating to me before I even get introduced to Anakin, and you know
what's funny? I feel the same way about Darth Vader. Like, I didn't understand the appeal of Darth Vader, but I also watched a lot of the Star Wars stuff later. Like, I think I watched episodes 1 through 6 in like maybe like the after 2006. We'll say that.
Oh, you didn't see Star Wars as a kid?
I did, but I don't really remember it enough to say that I
okay.
did. So, and I was like, I don't get it. Like, I didn't really get the appeal of it. But then, like, I started thinking about what he looked like in the 70s, what he looked like in the 80s. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. Then I read the comics. Darth Vader in Marvel Comics is one of the scariest people I have ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
Like, he had this one dude, and I couldn't. There was this Jedi who was just way more skilled than he was, and he's gotten to this point where like everything for him is just peace. Like he spends his time like floating and meditating.
Peace is a lie.
Huh?
Peace is a lie. Part of the Sith Creed.
It's funny you say that because he whooped Vader's ass. Vader puts himself back together with like spare parts, and he fights him again. And instead of Vader fighting him, he destroys a dam. And the guy fighting him is holding the water back. And Vader is like, and he's like, you don't have to kill me. These people did nothing to you. And to some effect, Vader goes, I don't care.
I don't care. He doesn't care. That's why he's far more of a badass in the books too. I actually wish we got a chance to follow Darth Vader in the movies versus Anakin. You know,
trust me when I tell you, man. The comic books are. If you haven't read the comic books,
I've read a couple of them.
They're so goddamn good. And then like you just see, but anyway, yeah. So I almost put him on the list. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
It's funny because I had Luke Skywalker on my list too, so that's funny. I'm gonna go with my next is the Kree. They are the epitome of white privilege in space. They think they know better than everybody. They even have something called the Supreme Intelligence. If that ain't some fucking space Nazi shit, like you know what I mean? Like, and it's like they think they know better than anybody. Everybody, there's a dude they have called the Grand Accuser. Not even not the Grand Accuser. I forget his name, but he's like Ronan the Accuser.
Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah, not even like Ronan the hey, I know you did this, or Ronan like I have evidence. It's the Accuser.
You can just j'accuse you in space.
Accuse you and kill you. Epitome of white privilege. That shit right there. The Accuser. Fuck you.
That's funny. I'm gonna go in a different order because this one is deep in my heart for some reason, and I don't know why. Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka.
He's the fucking worst. He
jumped out of that bed like he has always had the skill, but he let his little grandson grind for him. He let his child and the spouse or whatever grind for him. And then he gets a golden ticket and jumps out of bed tap dancing. So fuck Grandpa Joe.
Fuck Grandpa Joe. Havoc from the Marvel Comics X-Men and his Timu Cyclops ass. He it's so bad that he literally fell in love with a clone of Jean Grey. Dog.
And they're brothers too, right? They're brothers.
Yes. Dude, you could come on, dog. But I will say this: there was the most recent X Factor comic book actually gave me a new appreciation for him because the writer kind of addressed he addressed all of his insecurities, and he came out on the other end of that with a different perspective on life, and understood that he needed to work on himself and understand that a lot of the stuff that he's going through is because of his insecurities, and I fucked with that.
Okay.
But
mental health in comics is making a play right now, so we appreciate it.
And it's fucking dope. But yeah, fuck Havoc before that is Timu Cyclops ass.
Okay. I'm going to go with I'm kind of jumping around my list to be honest. Okay, you said Timu Cyclops, so I'll go with my Timu character, Timu Captain America, that was played by Wyatt Russell in the
Oh man.
Right? Because goddamn, didn't look good in the outfit.
Can we go to this episode? Can we call this episode Timu Steve Rogers?
Timu Steve Rogers. He bothered the shit out of me. I do not like whiny characters who are in privileged positions. And like, you're given the mantle, even though you didn't like get it through the proper chain of command of Captain America, the mantle. You're given the mantle from the government, and well, I guess that is technically the whatever the fuck.
It really ain't.
Sam,
you know what I mean?
Whatever,
the government should be allowed to decide who Captain America is. Like
it's dumb. And then he's all whiny and shit, and then he's just like, everybody is comparing me against Steve. You took the motherfucker's job. Of course they're gonna be like, well, the last guy was a lot better than you, you little whiny bitch.
It makes it even worse is like the actor is actually kind of cool.
I know. I didn't even realize that was Wyatt Russell. That was Wyatt Russell. Like, I knew his name was Wyatt when he took the job, but I didn't make the connection about him being Kurt Russell's kid and the fact that Kurt Russell named his kid Wyatt because he played Wyatt in Tombstone.
Oh,
and that was around the time that he was born and shit like that. And like, I remember the whole story because I really like Kurt Russell. I really like Goldie Hawn and their whole love story and shit like that. Well, I guess Goldie is not his mom. Anyways, not important. I like Kurt Russell. I love Tombstone. It's the only Western I really care about. And so yeah, that's the what?
The Harder They Fall?
The one that was on Netflix a couple years back?
With He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Yeah. I hate that. That makes me so sad. No, that was pretty good too. I will say I went to film school and I had to go through a whole like Western chapter, and I only liked High Noon, Tombstone, and then of course a couple years ago when Harder They Fall came out, I liked that as well. But yeah, Team of Captain America.
I don't think a lot of movies are perfect. I think Tombstone is on a list of
Tombstone is a perfect movie. Yeah, it's a perfect movie. Absolutely.
Came about that. All right, I'm gonna keep going in order. Everyone in 2015's Fantastic Four. Everybody, top to bottom. Every character in that movie sucked. We can move.
Which one is 2015's? Is that the
Enforced?
Is it the Michael B. Jordan one?
Yes.
That was 2015.
That was 2015.
That's how long ago that movie came out? I thought that movie just came out.
No, it was 2015.
Wow.
Wow. Again.
Well, to be fair, I only just watched it when I was living in LA before I went to Houston, so that's probably why I think it came out in 2018 or 2019.
Fun fact, I want to do a list of movies we will never watch again after we watch it once. That is on a movie. I like a lot of bad movies. I will never watch that movie again. Me and Brandon talked about that.
That one was pretty bad. And we mentioned about like the Ben Johnny relationship is not great in that one too. Okay. Yeah, that one sucks. So my next one is movie Cyclops, because I have never liked movie Cyclops. Movie Cyclops is so boring. Of course you would have fucked Wolverine over movie Cyclops. He was so boring, and he didn't command, and he had no leadership commanding presence.
He was good in the first movie and it stopped there. That was it.
It's just, he really bothered me. He was so weak to me.
It was funny because I felt like they had it right in the first movie, like there's a scene where Wolverine grabs him and he looks over at Xavier like, you better get this motherfucker off me.
I will say, I know Brandon hates these original X-Men movies, but I still have a real soft spot for the first one. The first one I really, really enjoyed. The second one, I do think like acting. The second one felt like all these actors were on contract obligation, and so they were just phoning it in.
Okay, so it's funny. I think that was the best we got of Jennifer Lawrence in those.
No, not Jennifer Lawrence ones. I'm talking about the original X-Men movies.
Oh yeah, the second one. I think the second one is highly overrated. I think it's absolutely overrated.
Yeah. I actually like the third X-Men movie over the second X-Men movie, even though it's goofy as hell. It's their first attempt at the Dark Phoenix story. I actually think they did better in that one than they did in X2.
Do you know what it is? So the third X-Men movie is just an action flick.
Yeah.
It's fun. You don't like, you know what I mean? There were some really grandiose moments in that.
Mhm.
Like, Ian McKellen deserves an award just for being Magneto with the flick of the cape and the whole like just this extravagant like movement of the Golden Gate Bridge. Like, he deserves awards just for that shit.
I like that one. I know it has some issues, but it actually, if you really aren't closed-minded while watching it, there are some really good acting moments for the Jean Grey character, of course, for the Magneto character, and Hugh Jackman as well, and stuff like that. There are some really good acting moments in that third movie. And it's not the best way to tell the Dark Phoenix story, but it was a good way for the movie, I thought. The X-Men First Class and all that kind of stuff, that's a whole different issue for me.
Yeah. I saw a clip of a deleted scene where at X-Men First Class, when he was in Xavier was it Zoe Kravitz who was in the first one? First Class, when Xavier was projecting an image of Magneto in a dress in Zoe Kravitz's head. And I saw it was a deleted scene, and he's like, and she's laughing, and he's like in like this pink dress, and I was like, "Why'd y'all delete this? This is fucking great!" But I thought the thing about X2, and I think people forget that, and you've obviously, as you mentioned, you've gone to film school. I think there's a difference between a good movie and a movie that's full of good moments.
I would say the difference is a film versus a movie.
That's a good way to put it. Like, X2 was a movie. It was a movie full of like really fun and good moments. Like the scene with Wolverine fighting the soldiers in the mansion, great moment. Nightcrawler in the beginning of the movie, great moment. Phenomenal. Classic. I think it's one of the best action scenes we've seen in a comic book film. You also have Pyro showing what he can do. Great moment. Overall, it was cool. It was a film full of great moments. X3 is a fun action film.
Yeah.
The first X movie, good movie. Good film, excuse me. Yeah. Cinema.
Cinema.
Is that
you're
next?
Yeah, you're next.
Oh, the son from John Wick in the first one who killed John Wick's dog.
Yeah, because fuck anybody who does violence to animals.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to go beyond that. We're going to go right back to the whole Kree thing. If that ain't the epitome of fucking white privilege, but I love the fact that his dad slapped the shit out of him. But I also love that when he called John Leguizamo and he was like, you hit my... He's like, oh, yes.
Wait. Is John Leguizamo in that first John Wick movie?
He was the one he went to with the car.
Wow, that's erased from my brain. I'm telling you, like, this widow brain is no joke. The stuff that disappears.
And so he was just like, he goes, "You slapped my son?" He goes, "Yes, sir." "Why'd you do that?" "He stole John Wick's car and killed his son." He goes, "Oh." It was just like, that's all he needed to know. And
that's funny.
Can I just say, I think John Leguizamo is one of the most underrated actors that we have.
He's really great. He actually really is really great.
I love him so much. And it was funny. My grandmother, who was from another time, and she has her thoughts on people who cross-dress and stuff like that. But she took me to go see Tu Wong Fu.
Tu Wong Fu was great. I actually watched it a couple years ago because I hadn't seen it in a long time. And it actually held up pretty well. There are some things like language wise we don't say anymore that was in that movie or whatever, but separating from that, it's actually really solid.
I was listening to this podcast and they were talking about that movie and they were saying, like, how come people get on Tyler Perry for wearing a dress but not Wesley Snipes? And the co-host was like, because Wesley Snipes look good in a dress and Tyler Perry doesn't.
Also, Wesley Snipes is Wesley Snipes. Like, I don't know how else to say that, but you gonna tell Blade he can't be in a dress if he don't want to be in a dress?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like Wesley Snipes is on that Michael Jai White level of like, I will fuck you up. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, even his taking back Blade for the Deadpool Wolverine movie, like he's old now. And he still delivered really well. Like he still felt like he was gonna kick somebody's ass from the second he pops on screen.
One of my favorite moments was where somebody shot Blade. It was a really quick interaction in that it was like the sniper shot Blade, hit him in the shoulder. He immediately turned his gun and shot him. I was like, oh, it was just smoothly done.
Yeah, he did such a good job.
Who you got?
That's not what we're talking about.
Who you got next?
Who's I got next? Let's see. Well, we have a couple cross. Okay. Fucking Hawkeye. I fucking hate Hawkeye. I have hated Hawkeye passionately for so fucking long. And he's
all Hawkeyes?
All pretty much all Hawkeye. Because what's the option? You've got MAGA Hawkeye in the books. You've got fucking.
Yo, you did not just call him MAGA Hawkeye.
Am I lying though?
That is the
and then in the movie, he has redeeming moments, but for the most part, he's one of the least interesting characters in the the main six or whatever. And then they fucking make him Ronin, doing something completely incorrect. You remember it bothered me back then. This is a meta moment, but it's still important for everybody to understand. One of my favorite Japanese actors is Sanada, and he played the head of the Yakuza in Endgame. Wait, Endgame? Yeah, Endgame. And first of all, the way Japanese gangs like the Yakuza work or whatever is that they will risk everything they have to destroy you. They're not worried about their own life. They're not going to bend the knee because you bested them. They're going to destroy you and everything you love, even if they're going to die doing it. And
what's the gentleman's name who played the actor in question? The one who Hawkeye ended up killing?
Sanada.
I didn't. So I remember you telling me about this, and I'm only interrupting you because I want to make this perfectly clear because I didn't understand the significance of this. And one day I'm sitting at work, and one of the dudes I work with was talking about how fucking dope he was.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. So I called my best friend Lavelle. I text my best friend was always talking about. He goes, "Oh, he's been a bad motherfucker for decades."
You don't understand. His catalog is out of fucking control. And which I still haven't caught up on it yet because it was going live in the midst of my heavy part of my grief right after Tristan died. But the Shogun show that recently came out with the almost all Japanese cast, Sanada plays the main character in that, and because he's done samurai movies almost his entire career, he speaks old Japanese. Modern Japanese and old Japanese, pre-World War II Japanese is not really the same. And like my grandmother speaks World War II Japanese, so I speak an old Japanese, and people who are in Japan now speak a modern Japanese. Sanada speaks samurai Japanese, which is different. And he helped teach and coach all of the cast in ancient, like samurai Japanese, so that they could actually be more authentic in the show than they would have if it was written in modern Japanese. And modern Japanese wouldn't have made sense to a Japanese audience watching that show. Americans obviously wouldn't know the difference or whatever, but it's such an important detail that someone like him takes the job so fucking serious. But his catalog is out of control. He's been acting since he was young. He is an amazing actor. He's one of my absolute favorites. So for him as the meta part of my hate for Hawkeye is the fact that he had the audacity to kill Sanada, because you're not going to kill Sanada. I don't care who you are. Especially if you're a little whiny white dude with the fucking samurai sword for the first time in your fucking life, when this motherfucker was growing up with him. No, absolutely not. It's never gonna happen. The only good thing
about it is Sanada got a big check for it.
He got a check for it, but he's still like, it was almost like he debased himself to be in a Marvel movie, and it doesn't compute.
Yeah.
That's how it feels to me. Like, to me, that's how it feels. He might have had fun, and listen, I probably would have signed up to take a Marvel check as a nerd. Like, I would have just been like, put me in the Marvel movie, kill me, I don't care. Like I get that, but he comes with so much behind him that it's hard for me as a watcher to accept the role that he had in the movie, and of all people to kill him, that it had to be my least favorite character, and actually a character that I'm passionately against, to do it. I fucking hated it. I just fucking hated it. So yes, Hawkeye in the movie can get it. Hawkeye like get it by like fist. And also in the comics too. I don't like the character at all. It's not the archery. You know, it's just.
I also want to point out that Bullseye was a better Hawkeye than Hawkeye.
So, you know, like I don't know. I have been bothered by this from jump, and I will say, when they introduce I said this last time, when they introduce Hawkeye in Thor, he has one of the best introduction scenes where you feel like you really get a sense of the whole character in that moment, and then they just continue to like chip away at what could have been good about him throughout the remaining of the Marvel films for me.
I agree, and I feel like a lot of it had to do with what Joss Whedon was doing with him. And I kind of feel like the Hawkeye show was a better representation of him.
I actually did like the Hawkeye show, and I will say that there is some redeeming things in there. I also do like his relationship with Natasha and stuff like that too, but yeah, I don't know, he just bothers me. He just fucking bothers me. And
I feel like if we didn't have a lot of the stuff going on with him beforehand, I think it would have felt a little bit differently. But there was just so much wrong with him for a while, and then like with Age of Ultron, one of my buddies that I went to go see the movie with kept pointing out that like they kept teasing his death, and it got a little redundant after a while. You know what I mean? It was just bad. I'm gonna go with somebody else that we both have on this list. King Joffrey.
Yeah.
I know that Bolton Ramsey is worse than King Joffrey. I know that he's the worst, but I fucking hated King Joffrey, and I didn't like that. Not the way he did. I kind of wanted him like to go out worse.
That's funny. I will say that the actor that played Joffrey did such a good fucking job that people would spit on him in the street. He fucking retired from acting altogether because of how toxic people were towards him and his role, which just tells me that, man, you did a good ass job. And I'm so sorry that your acting life fell apart as a result of this role. But yeah, it's such a despicable character. And I would say the reason why you would put Joffrey on your list and I would put him over Bolton is that this goes into like the kind of villains that you like, right? Like, I'm a Joker fan, and I like Joker because he's chaos for chaos sake. There's no other reason for him to be chaotic or for him to be bad. He's just chaotic. He just wants to see the world burn, right? There's another villain that is very similar to Joker that I am absolutely in love with, and it's from the movie Assassin 13, which is a Takeshi Miike film, and it's all these samurai getting together, banding together to kill this one person. And there's this villain in that movie who is basically a samurai version of Joker. He is just chaos and evil for chaos sake, and he is amazing. Bolton is that kind of villain. There's nothing that's going to redeem him because he doesn't need to be redeemed, because he wants to create chaos for chaos sake. He's not even really that power hungry. He just understands that having power will allow him to do the dastardly shit he wants to do. And so because he is that kind of villain, you can just accept that there's nothing that you can do that will make him change in any way, shape, or form. But with Joffrey, there are some things that could pull him. There are moments when he is a sweet child who just got twisted, right? There are moments for him like that. And so even though it fades away really quickly, there's things where like you fucking know better than to be like this, and you're still behaving this way. Whereas he's not, like I said, he's not chaos for chaos sake. He's just like, I'm in charge. I'm the king. That's why I love the line with his grandfather that says, if you were the real true queen, you wouldn't have to tell anybody, like they would just respect you. And because he is so insecure, and because he probably deep down inside knows he's not actually the rightful heir, it makes him behave shitty the way that he does, and like also he hurts animals. So
yeah, it like it popped in my head. I didn't want to interrupt you, but Ramsay Bolton is an A24 villain.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you
got? I'm gonna go. This is a new one for me because, and I said that on the first episode. I am not familiar with Guy Gardner at all. He's not a character in the comics that I'm familiar with, and as much as I like Nathan Fillion, in this recent Superman movie, he annoyed the fucking shit out of me, and I wanted to punch that fake chin off of his face.
I love Guy Gardner, but go with that energy. It's pretty much accurate. It's not perfect, but it's pretty much accurate.
I mean, if that's like there are guys that are irritating and characters that are irritating that you kind of like for their irritatingness. For me, this Guy Gardner is not that. Like, it didn't do it for me.
You know what it is? He's an insecure bro.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Have you seen the meme that says like it's a split image of Guy Gardner, a hot girl, and Mr. Terrific, and it says the Justice Gang at 100%, and then the next image, Guy Gardner and hot girl are missing, and just Mr. Terrific it's the exact same image. There's just those two are missing, and Mr. Terrific's in it, and it says Justice Gang at 99%. So, and I felt that was accurate.
And I'm gonna guess hot girl is that 1% because she dropped the fucking dictator.
Yeah. Guy Gardner, I don't feel was successful in any way, shape, or form besides the fact, and he is actually the epitome of like a white guy in power just because he's a white guy. Like, he's the leader just because he's a white guy.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Is there are moments where Hal Jordan's worse than he is. That's pretty funny to me.
I mean, Hal is an asshole. He just is.
Yeah. Sansa Stark. I don't know why, but she just fucking annoys me. And the fact that they put her on the throne, it really pissed me off. Even more so than Brandon Legless. That annoyed me more than Brandon Legless. It bothered me so much that like I was like, she's done nothing.
Listen, I'm with you up until they're in Winterfell. I'm with you 100%. I hated Sansa the whole time. But once they got to Winterfell, and once she kind of came into her own power, even though she was a little deceptive with Jon and everything like that, she started to earn my interest at that point. And when they seat her on the throne, it makes sense to me. Even though that final season was trash, I will say the end of Sansa's arc is pretty good for me. So I would say I would be with you until season 7. And then from then on, I actually do appreciate the Sansa character.
Well, let me just tell you this. This is where my stubbornness came in. I don't give a fuck if she went on a dragon and RKO'd him and killed a dragon with her bare hands. Fuck Sansa.
Everybody, haters gonna hate, and it's fine because there's gonna be some people I hate, and there's no rhyme or reason to it.
I've got 2 more.
I've got 1 more, I think, because I jumped around. Yeah, I think I got 1 more.
You have 2 more.
Who do I have?
You have your number 1 and your number 10.
Oh, yeah. Well, number 1, everybody knows I fucking hate Superman. We came in hot on me hating Superman on the first episode, but the one I'll end on, we don't need to engage in it. We already talked about it. The one I'll end on is Schmidt from New Girl.
It's funny because that's been the show me and Maria have been falling asleep to.
Really? I fucking love New Girl. It's one of my favorite shows. So great. I watch it on repeat. I'm Jack Johnson, or I'm Nick. Like 100% my personality and Nick's personality vibe, except for I'm probably, I don't know, maybe slightly less curmudgeon-y than him. But Schmidt character.
I'm just okay.
I don't know. I mean, like, he got in a fight with a whole bunch of balloons.
Nick is what happens if me and you did the fusion dance.
I will give you that. It's fine. That I'll give you that. Schmidt as a character bothers me. Like, he definitely has some funny moments, and he is the comic relief for that. But the fact that they made his character cheat on Cece doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make any sense for his character. And up until then, I'm okay with Schmidt. It's once he gets to that point, I can't stand it because, one, it doesn't make any sense. He's obsessed with Cece from jump, so it doesn't make any sense that his character did that. But the fact that he gets the girl after the cheating thing really fucking bothers me as a person that has been cheated on. It's just like no consequences whatsoever. As a I guess a victim of being cheated on, I am also one of those people that like didn't give consequences, and so it just kind of kept happening and shit like that. So I just fucking hate. And so from that point on, it's really hard for me to enjoy him in the show, just everybody else in the show, because fuck him for that. And to win in the end is, I just hate it. I hate it.
So I have two. The first one's pretty quick. Hank Pym in the comic books. Hank Pym's another one of those Avengers that, like, I get that he's a genius and I get that he's done things that are like, just beyond the realm of the things that he should be able to accomplish. Hank Pym has been a shitty character for decades. They finally made him interesting in like the late 90s, and even then that was kind of like meh. He's not a good character. He created Ultron. He's Beast without the personality.
I will say this about Hank Pym as a former HR director in the tech industry.
That's what everyone to realize.
Hank Pym is the exec that comes into my office as the HR director and says, "This rule doesn't apply to me, does it?" And I would say, "You're the reason why so many of our rules and policies exist." Is that accurate? That's accurate, right?
If the people can't hear me, I'm clapping my hands because that was absolutely accurate. The last on my list, Allison Hightower.
Yes, I agree with you. She's a fucking cunt.
And you know what's funny about it is, it's just the all right. So let's just say this: she is a victim. She's absolutely a victim in this.
Fair.
And there should be some grace for her, but she's not a real person. Fuck her.
I will say that, like, Allison is the example of a victim that finds themselves like unredeemable, like, over time because of the behaviors that they have. Whereas there's, like, I would say that in different ways, both girls. Why am I not remembering the main character's name?
Because her name sounds like everybody else's. I think it's Rhaenyra.
There's two characters who have the same Rhaenyra. There's Rhaenyra's and Rhaenyra, whichever one is the main character. These two have a very similar type of thing. They're Rhaenyra. They're teen girls that are groomed for something very specific, right?
Yes.
One's groomed to be the queen, and one is groomed to be married off to the most powerful possible person that they can be married off to. In the beginning, there is loyalty between these two, but as soon as the opportunity presents itself for her to become queen, there wasn't a pause. There wasn't a fight. There wasn't an argument. It was just, I'm going to go ahead and do this, knowing that it would have an impact on her friend. And then from then, it doesn't even feel like she has genuine love for her children. It's just position that she's trying to put them in, which seems a lot different than Rhaenyra as an adult, because her children do seem to be very primary to her, the moves that she makes. It's also the thing that ultimately kind of drives her into Targaryen madness, I think. Whereas Alicent, it's just like, everybody can burn as long as I get to stay in power with my name and with my colors.
And it's and then on top of that, she had a chance to end it all, like just stop the fighting, and it was just kind of like,
nah.
And then what made it even worse is you brought up something that started my disdain for her, was when she was just like, when Rhaenyra was sitting on a tree, leaning on a tree, reading or whatever,
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, as your queen, and she was just like, oh, I think she like ripped the book out. It was just like, here, like this is what you want.
Yeah.
And that was, and it's funny, I like Rhaenyra. I like both the actress and the actress. I think the older one is non-binary. I like both of them, and they're both fantastic. And
the younger one is the one that is Supergirl in the end credits of the most recent Superman movie. And the older one, I don't know if I've ever seen them in anything else, but I think they're phenomenal in that role.
100%. Do you want to end with my shut the fuck up list?
Do you want to do the shut the fuck up list, or do you want to do one round of Cards Against X-Men? Because we did blow our time that we said we were going to stick to.
The shut the fuck up list isn't that topical, so we can do with the Cards Against Humanity.
Okay. So a while back, I got the Cards Against X-Men game, but I live in a city where I don't know anybody yet, and so I don't have any friends. And I'm like, how am I going to play this fucking game? I really want to play it, and I actually really want to play this game with you anyway, because obviously. So I thought I would try to find a way to play it with you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold up 4 of the black cards, which are the question. You pick 1, 2, 3, or 4, and that'll be the one I read off for you.
Okay. I'm going to go 2. I went 3 off the air, so I'm going to go 2 this time.
Okay. So this is the second card. And off to the side, I have 4 of the white cards, and you will also pick 1, 2, 3, or 4 to answer the black card thing. Gambit's card trick ended with blank.
3. Let's go with 3.
Magneto's float fail.
Let's run that back. Let's do 1 and 1.
1 and 1?
Let's do 1
okay.
Do 1 and 1.
So,
let's run that back.
New cards, right?
Yep.
Okay. 1 and 1. This is 1. Rogue's kiss left blank in pain. And you said 1 and 1, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's weird. Rogue's deadly hickey. So that doesn't, it's too close. Why are these so fucking close? Let's try one more time. This feels like a fail. All right. 2 through 4. We're going to answer Rogue's question.
Give me 4.
4. Rogue's kiss left Gambit's slapworthy charm in pain.
Oh, you know. So here's the thing. I know most people are thinking, oh, he slapworthy charm. He was slapping in his face. Nah, those are back shots. I'm not gonna say if Gambit was on the bottom or if Rogue.
There
was
might
the
have
bottom.
been some pegging involved. There might be some pegging involved. I thought we could probably do a little bit of this every so often, just so that I can finally get through these thingies.
Yeah, I think I have a Cards Against Humanity with like Deadpool. I think.
Do you have the Deadpool one? I had the original one. I ended up getting rid of it. This one, the X-Men one, I was like, oh, I got to get the X-Men one. I'll put those back here too.
So,
it was a try.
So, Maine, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on my other shows, Militantly Mixed or BLERDcoMIXed or Matcha, Masala, and Murder on the social medias. Or you can follow me on Instagram at Sharmane.Fury. Is it Sharmane.Fury or is it just Sharmane Fury? I think it's just Sharmane Fury. But you have to spell my name right, Sharmane. And that's where you can find me. Or if you're in the Los Angeles area, is this going to air before then? Yes, it is. If you're in the Los Angeles area this weekend on August 9th, there is the Free to Be Fest, which is a mixed race identity festival, and which is going to be panels, it's going to be comedy, it's going to be film festival, and I'm doing a panel there, Permission to Be Mixed, and I'm also emceeing the film festival. So if you're in the area and you're interested in celebrating mixed identity of any mix, whatever you are, go to freetobefest2025.rsvpify.com to get your tickets, and you can meet us out in LA on Saturday.
You can find me at Old Man Wade Com, OldManWade on most social medias. You can find me at the Old Man Wade Show. Just recorded one with Brandon from We Was Watching podcast. He's been on my show a ton of times. Great dude, great guest, and we vibe and we have a great time. You can also find anything that I'm writing, Bam Smack Pow. You can just Google Bam Smack Pow, just like it sounds, and then put my name, Mark, M-A-R-K, and all my writing will come up. That's what I do. Tell a friend that we're here again. That's all I got. You got anything else for him?
I just want to end on saying that Brandon is probably one of the best humans that we know. He's incredible. He's just a solid fucking dude, and he's thoughtful and he's sweet. He's smarter than probably all of us for sure, and I just absolutely love him. And I was on We Was Watching back when they did We Was Dragons, back when the show was called We Was Dragons, because I read all the books, so I had to pop on to fill in the book knowledge.
Yeah, Brandon's that dude, man. When I went to Houston, he was like an incredible host, like, and just really solid. Like you said, solid dude, man. And he's a friend for life. And he also, it is funny. I love it that he understands that sometimes I'm just me, and I kind of check out for a few days because I just kind of get in my head of my anxiety, and he gets it. So it makes me happy that he gets it and that he's as accepting as and understanding as he is. So shout out to Brandon. Give him all the love in the world. All right. Thank you.
Next week I won't be here because I'll be flying back.
And I don't know if we're gonna have. I might ask Brandon to record, or I may have the prettiest person in the world come on and do the show with me. I don't care what anyone says. He's the prettiest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
You know, when you grow up with someone, you don't often see the pretty that other people sees. But I've been actually yelled at a few times about this problem, I guess, that I don't see. But I get it. I understand. He is a good looking dude. He's just he's my brother, so it's weird. It's gross.
He's a fucking god.
I know. He's like 6'4". He's hella muscular and shit. He's like light skinned. He's got curly hair. It's ridiculous.
Like when they chisel like I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. they're looking like someone went into the future and then came back and was like, we've got it all wrong.
Sharmane, yeah. I will say I love saying this because Sharmane hates when I say it, is that he's the only person I ever took a punch from.
Oh God, that story was so fucking funny.
It's an accidental punch. He was celebrating getting a C on a math test, and he was like, I did it. And he threw his arms up, and I walked right into it, and it was my first black eye I ever got. Came from my brother from another mother.
With Maria because she's just about as much of a curmudgeon as I am, and like just the thing that she hates, and I kind of want to make her watch Madam Web.
Oh gosh, don't put anybie else through this. Don't put yourself through it again. Why would you put yourself through it again?
I already watched it twice. That should tell you something. That movie and Morbius are better than a 2015 Fantastic Four, and I've watched that movie once.
I absolutely refuse to watch Morbius because I hate Jared Leto. Jared Leto is a fictional character, even though he's a real life person, and I wanted to put him on my list, but I didn't because I thought that technically you would think he was a real person. That dude infuriates the shit out of me. If the next time we do a I hate list, it's real people, he's gonna be 1 through 10 because I hate this motherfucker. But we're running long, so before I get into my hate spiral, fuck Jared Leto, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
You just called Jared Leto a fictional character, and that is the greatest thing I've heard in a very long time.
I hate that dude. I hate him so much. There's no way he's a real person.
Oh man, I kind of so now I want you to watch it even more. All right, everybody, because me and Sharmane will be on this forever. As always, keep it curmudgeon, kids. Later.
Peace.
Curmudgeons for the Culture is a Main Hustle Media podcast, hosted by Old Man Wade, Mark Lynch, and the X-Main, Sharmane Fury. Produced by Sharmane Fury. Music is My Lord by Yaron Primack. If you like what you heard on Curmudgeons for the Culture, please subscribe, rate, and review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
And until next time, keep it curmudgeon, children.